Yo, what's good? It's your boy, Young JDR Sports, back with another ESPN Fantasy Football video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys 3 wide receivers that I am not going to draft and I'm going to stay away from. But you guys still can if they follow to you, you know what I mean? If one of these guys follow to me too, I might pick him, you know what I mean? Make sure you guys drop a big thumbs up, comment which wide receiver you do agree that you do not think is worth drafting, and subscribe to the channel, and go subscribe to Young JDR on YouTube because we're on the road to 5K. But let's get into it. So number 3, I want to be kind of chill with this one, all right? I'm not, I don't hate it, but just every wide receiver is really good. Like the wide receiver market is super good compared to running back. Running back, there is like no really good running backs. I mean, it's really rough over there. There's elite tier, and then there's just backups. But in the wide receivers, you could just scroll down and be confident with any. So we got to be kind of chill. Number 3, Amari Cooper. I'm not against picking Amari Cooper if he falls to me. Injuries a little bit, he's just really inconsistent. But Dak Prescott's going to be back. Last year he finished with 92 receptions, 1,114 yards, and 5 touchdowns. But at the end of the season, he sort of declined too, with CeeDee Lamb actually having a really good finish. I think CeeDee Lamb's going to get a lot of volume. Zeke's going to be back completely. I think Zeke's going to have a really bounce back year too. And Dak Prescott has a really high connection with Zeke. So I think Zeke's going to take a lot of volume. CeeDee Lamb's going to take some volume from Amari Cooper. But I think just Amari Cooper, I'm not completely sold on him. But for the 12th rated wide receiver, I just don't think it's crazy. I'm not going to try to draft him in my leagues. But it's all right if you guys do. Nothing against him. It's just really hard to pick through 3 wide receivers. So we had to pick him. Our number 2 wide receiver, another one that I'm like, there's not a lot of good receivers, so it's Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen, 74 receptions last year, 925 yards, and 14 touchdowns. You cannot keep Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Dalvin Cook produce really high. So that is why I'm saying one of them has to be going down, and I think it's Adam Thielen that's going to be going down. Even though I think the connection between Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins was pretty strong, Justin Jefferson is just so explosive and is going to be getting more volume throughout. And Dalvin Cook is just going to be, Dalvin Cook's still got to do stuff, but if Dalvin Cook gets hurt, then maybe the passing game does increase and Adam Thielen does do good. But Adam Thielen is another inconsistent wide receiver. Some games he will finish with a lot of 30. He has a lot of 30-point games, but he also has a lot of games under 10 points. He had 14 touchdowns last year. I can't really see that repeating. So maybe the yards will be around 900, 1,000. Receptions maybe a little bit around the same. So I just think he can't go anything above what he did last season. I think if anything, he's going to be going a little bit down. So nothing against Adam Thielen. I just think that Amari Cooper and Adam Thielen, just in the situations with their volume, I'm just not a huge fan of. So that's why I'm rating them as a 3rd and 2nd receivers that I'm not drafting. So I'm going to try and make this video kind of short though, so yeah, let's just go to our number 1, all right? Number 1, I'm going to spend a little bit more time talking about. Odell Beckham Jr. All right, I know we all love OBJ. Odell was a great receiver, and we've been thinking he's been great for the past years too. They keep ranking him high, and we keep drafting him, and guess what happens? He flops. He's had so many 1,000-yard seasons. In his first 3 years, he had over 1,300 yards. Each season was over 10 touchdowns, and then the first year he went to the Browns, we thought he was going to be one of the best receivers too. Only finished with 74 receptions, 1,000 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And then last year, this was pretty rough with the injury. A tough injury, even though he is back and healthy. Baker Mayfield might make a jump, but they still got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. They are a really big running team, and they have Jarvis Landry. I just don't think it's smart to pick OBJ. He's still questionable now because that huge torn ACL. That's just a horrible injury. And they come back from that, it's just going to be really rough. But even this year when he played, he had 1 game. He had 5 receptions, 81 yards, and then he had the 1 huge carry against Dallas, and he had 73 rushing yards and 1 touchdown, which kind of gave him, over 13 points. So without that, he would have had 25 points around there. But he also had 2 receiving touchdowns that game. Besides that, though, he only had 5 points, 17 points, almost 10, 11, 4.5, and they were ranking him super high. So I do agree they are ranking him pretty low this year at the 27. But there's still wide receivers I see below him that I'd rather have. But if he really does fall to me, if he really does fall to me, I am not sure. Maybe I will But Odell Beckham's just getting older, and he just had a horrible injury. So is he really going to improve? Probably not. You know what I mean? I just don't like the situation too with the Browns really rushing the ball and just the whole entire just injury, the age, just not being productive anymore. You know what I mean? Though Odell though was one of the best receivers in the NFL. You know what I mean? That's what happens to a lot of these guys. Just like look at some of the best running backs. Like remember David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley? They were all the best running backs at one time. Remember that? And now look what happened to them. Le'Veon Bell is what, a free agent? Todd Gurley's a free agent. David Johnson's supposedly maybe even the starting running back for Texans. I don't know. Texans have so many running backs that it's just ridiculous. So yeah, what happened? You know what I mean? What about that? And then, even you look at some other great wide receivers back in days like Demaryius Thomas, AB even kind of took a fall. You know what I mean? Just there's these receivers that were good at one point and then they kind of fall off, you know what I mean? So it's really hard to find one a receiver that's super consistent through their whole entire career, besides DeAndre Hopkins, you know what I mean? And Odell, I just don't think is going that way. You know what I mean? He's not in the perfect situation, you know what I mean, with the passing offense. I think just the Browns are really made for that running offense, you know what I mean? Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, really good combo. And just the injury, and even in 2019 when he had a full year, he only had 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. I just can't see him doing good. We always are drafting him super high. So please do not draft him, all right? I'm going to be looking on Underdog Fantasy, all right? He is getting picked over guys like Cortland Sutton, DJ Chark, Robbie Anderson, Juju, let's see, Will Fuller, you know what I mean? A bunch of guys. I mean, I understand that Odell is supposedly the number 1 wide receiver for the Browns. I just do not think that it's worth, you know what I mean, risking your season if he gets hurt again or just doesn't produce, you know what I mean? But those are my 3 wide receivers I am not drafting. I am staying away from, but you guys can completely draft them, you know what I mean? I'm just giving you guys reasons why I'm trying to stay away from them. And this was honestly a hard video to make because there's just so many. There's just every receiver is pretty good, you know what I mean? You could draft and they just fall so good, you know what I mean? You could get a receiver all the way down at the 40s and 30s, and you could still have them and have a huge upside. You know what I mean? The running backs, still, besides the A-tier running backs, you know what I mean? It gets really hard to find a good one. So yeah, it was pretty easy to make the running back one, but this one was kind of hard. So that's who our 3 wide receivers are: Amari Cooper, Adam Thielen, and OBJ. So make sure you guys do drop a big thumbs up. Which wide receiver you guys agree on with me? Go comment that down below. And subscribe if you guys are new. Let's keep on grinding. But until next time, your boy's out. Peace.